Hello, listeners. This is Yukta speaking, your host for today's episode, which is the talk given by Dr. Debleena Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor, MEFGI, Rajkot, on the topic water pollution. This talk is a part of the 10th IC Innovator Club meeting hosted on the topic pollution and diseases. Let us hear from Dr. Debleena Bhattacharya.
So, taking ahead with this, when we are talking about water pollution, so we know that 70% of our Earth is having water, and only 3% of that 70% of that 100% is for fresh water. So this is also, we know that only 3% for drinking purpose, for bathing purpose, for irrigation purpose. So 3% water we have for irrigation, for drinking, and for bathing. That is for our daily use. So we are contaminating that 3% apart from the, because we never think that water will be lesser or something like that. So what are the prime causes for your water pollution, and what are the prime reasons for your water pollution? So the first reason is unethical farming practices that is being done. Second, pertaining to the illegal disposal of wastewater, that is industrial wastewater, to be more precise. And the third, that is pertaining to the population growth and the demand for fresh water. And the fourth, we have the microplastics that just now sir has said. Pertaining to that, we will be talking further. So what comes to our mind when we are talking about pollution? It is something that has a harmful effect on the health, on the environment, and our surroundings. So according to the recent data that we have seen, that 2/3 of our water is frozen in glaciers, and that we are not using. That 2/3 we are not using. And 1.1 billion people worldwide, they lack the access to a clean water, clean drinking water. And a total of 2.7 billion, they find water scarcity. So, and inadequate sanitation, as well as 2.4 billion people around the world are exposed to diseases such as cholera and typhoid. So in the recent study, we have seen that 2 million people, mostly children, died each year due to your diarrheal diseases alone. So this data, it is really something that we should be concerned about. And since we are using water invariably for everything, we are using even the wastewater that we are disposing of. To clear that wastewater, we need a fresh water. So according to the recent data, that is, we have seen that the thick foamy layer of Panchganga River near Rajaram Barrage has sparked a concern for the people of Kolhapur district. So it has shown concerns of water pollution. Several efforts are being made to clean up that water pollution. And the Kolhapur Jila Parishad, they have put a check on Panchganga by making a sewage treatment plant nearby to the river. But it is still an ongoing process, and it will take time to clear that one. There is another study I want to come up with that is pertaining to the one fruit that we are very excited as a superfood, that is your avocado. Nowadays, people are going, there is a hype over having this food. But rarely do we know that this food, this particular superfood that we are talking about, it has all the minerals that they said. They have, the recent data has said that avocado has all the minerals and it is very good for health. But the dark side, it consumes a huge amount of water. Avocado farming is a water intensive activity. In some parts of the world, particularly in Chile, the Pretoria province is facing problems because it requires 320 liters per avocado. That is 64 times more than a simple tomato vegetation that is being grown. So we know it is a very rich mineral food, but we have raw coconut also. And the raw coconut has your potassium, it has coconut, it has zinc, it has iron, it has magnesium. Apart from that, it has fiber, which is an important for this thing that is for our gut microbiome. So avocado is not having that fiber. So instead of avocado, I will suggest people to go for this raw coconut instead of this. So in California, the farmers face problems because the marketing, the showcasing of avocado as a superfood does not show the dark side of that uh, irrigation of that particular food. Because in California, the avocado tree requires 20 gallons of water during irrigation season. Irrigation season means the season when the farmers have a controlled amounts of water for their irrigation purpose. So that is a default that we have. And nowadays people are not aware that many of the countries nowadays, in India also, in many of the underdeveloped countries, they are going for making this superfood into farming practices. And invariably, by 2050, California it is said that it will be having your water problems because already so much water has been consumed by this illegal practice of your farming. So apart from that, I will be talking about the recent study of IIT Madras, who has done the study over the Kaveri River. So there in this river, there are lots of your pharmaceutical residual products as well as your personal care products. They are being disposed of. And along with that, there are minuscule particles of plastics that is also being disposed of. So disposed of even after treatment, it is coming in the water. So their percentage is very higher. Earlier, there was a study of Patincheru in Hyderabad. They are finding that ciprofloxacin level, that is antibiotic that is used for, that is the very higher grade antibiotic that is being used. It is found in the river at 36 milligram per liter. According to the your food, according to our this thing means disposal standards, it should be 0.01 microgram per liter of disposal. And there we are disposing 39 milligram per liter. So that is huge amount. And the people who are staying in that area, in that locality, they are facing all the consequences, all the problems, all the health diseases that they are having. The child that is born out there in that area, they are facing a lot of problems. So a Swedish scientist came and he just tested this water, just a surface water, and they found that this much amount of higher level of your antibiotic is still there in the water. Not just ciprofloxacin, it is also norfloxacin, moxifloxacin, all the antibiotics that is there. So apart from this, in the study, we have seen that a norflox takes a lot of 6 months to clear off from your system. So when we are prescribing this antibiotics, nowadays doctors are going for probiotics also. They are prescribing probiotics to help the gut microbiome to dispose of this, to clear off or dispose of this antibiotic from our system. So apart from that, there are so many reasons for this water pollution. And one reason is your microplastics that just now sir has discussed about it. So there is a lake in Mongolia. It is an underdeveloped country. So it is heavily polluted, and the lake's name is Havascol, and it is a highly polluted lake. And this lake is very small compared to Lake Superior of North America, but the pollution level is much, much, much higher. And this pollution, it has occurred due to the microplastic that is coming. And invariably, this microplastics, they will be coming out in our food chain also, and it will be harming the next generation. They will be facing lots of problems, not just in microplastics, but all the residual things that we are disposing of in the rivers. So invariably the fish will be having, it will be coming to the human food chain. Every species will be affected by this process. So the current consumption rates that is pertaining to your microplastics that is there. So it would fill 2.7 billion refuse, that is collection trucks, which would wrap the planet around 800 times. if the place if it is taken from place one end to other end. So that much amount of microplastic is being dumped off in our river. And along with that, the microplastic is also leaking, and the leaking microplastic does two significant things. First, we use wastewater in many cases to fertilize and water our fields. This practice is being done by the industrial wastewater treatment plants. They are disposing of the wastewater into the agricultural lands, and we are uh, spreading the microplastic onto the dried lands. So if not released into the agriculture system, the microplastics are being released through the wastewater into our rivers, our ponds, and also the oceans. So invariably, it will be coming into our system, and we will be having the diseases that can't be treated by the antibiotics that is already prevalent in our system, because if you say that ciprofloxacin or the norfloxacin or the moxifloxacin and the next generation of antibiotics that is coming up, because these antibiotics is already present in our body because of the biomagnification that we are having. So it is a concern for us, for our future generation, that we need to control this pollution either, and also we need to curb this problems also in the near future. So hope this sessions help us to know further about the pollution that we are facing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Debleena Bhattacharya. To watch the complete club meeting on this topic, visit the link in the description below. Subscribe to the channel to get instant access to all the podcasts. Follow us on social media through the links available in the description below. Thank you all for spending your time in listening to this week's podcast. Look out for a new episode every Wednesday, published on Google Podcast, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. If you're interested in hosting your podcast with us, fill the form available in the description below. Thank you once again. See you next time.